What's going on, guys? My name is Slcmof and I'm back again with another video, and hopefully this title is not news to you. Hopefully you have been aware of the fact that Batman Return to Arkham has been delayed. And as I mentioned in my last video, I was disappointed about this. It worked out really well for my schedule in that my online classes that I'm taking over the summer, don't think I failed high school or whatever. I'm done with that now. Anyway, so, the classes that I was taking, they're finishing up in a few weeks, and then I would get Return to Arkham a week after that, and then ideally a month after that we would get Telltale's Batman. And by the way, I saw some tweets that the first episode anyway, is nearly finished, meaning that we could very well get the episode by like late July, and the trailer I think we can expect pretty soon as well. So definitely stay tuned for this on this channel, really, if you want to stay up to date on anything Telltale's Batman. That is basically the only game I've ever done on this channel that is fully news. Like, in the last 7 months, I have 100% covered every bit of news we've gotten for that game, and I will continue to do so for as long as that series lives. So anyway, guys, let's talk about Batman Return to Arkham and when we can expect the game. Now, I make this video not just to speculate, because we did get a little bit of concrete information. So a YouTube user sent me a message of an email that they got from Warner Brothers that essentially indicated that they have every intent of releasing Batman Return to Arkham in the year of 2016. You can see right here, this is the exact email that he got. So they're encouraging you to pre-order, but they're also telling you that they don't know when the game's going to come out. But 2016 nonetheless, so that puts a little bit of context into what kind of indefinitely means, because that's what, they said. They said the game's indefinitely delayed. Well, that's kind of worrisome or curious, and a lot of people have been saying, like, the game's going to get canceled. Of course it's not going to get canceled, but there certainly is the possibility that it could have been delayed to 2017 or something ridiculous like that. And the game looked like it was coming along quite well, just from the trailer of what we saw. I think that basically everything's done in terms of porting it to Unreal Engine 4. What they're going to need to do at this point is polish up some of those graphics, because they really just weren't very good in the trailer. And even I noticed it. The colors are brighter, but brighter colors doesn't mean the graphics are better. It certainly is distinct as its own kind of thing. But even then, I wouldn't say that you want to have a remaster feel anything but what the aesthetic was in the original game. So I don't know. I think it's wonky. I think they're going to need to fix some stuff there. Mainly the character models, but as per the environments looked great just from the teaser trailer, which again, we don't even know if it was in-engine footage. In that they didn't specify it in the trailer, you can always deduce that it is not in-engine footage, whereas if it is in-engine footage like Battlefield, they're going to put it in big letters right before the front of the trailer. It'll be like, oh, this is what it's going to look like on my PlayStation 4. So if Batman Return to Arkham looked anything less than that of which it did on that trailer, we would be thoroughly disappointed. So I'm glad to see that they're taking their time. They did the right thing, and the fact of it is, when we look at, how long is this game going to take to get released, you have to think about it as well, that this game was really close to being released. The game would have gone gold in otherwise a week. Think about it. It's July 1st. The game was going to come out on July 28th, July 29th, something like that. Okay, so essentially you're looking at, a month, and they have a month to print the game on disc and ship it out to every single GameStop in the country and ship it out to every manufacturer and everything else like that. The game was going to go gold in a week. That's when the game was going to be finished. So in that they were so close to releasing it, I think that gives you an indication of what indefinitely means. And I don't think it means what it would typically mean on any other game. If I heard indefinitely delayed for Uncharted 4, which I don't play Uncharted, but the point is, if I heard that on Uncharted 4, you'd be like, oh shit, you get nervous, okay? But if you hear, indefinitely delayed on a game that was going to go gold in a week, and if you don't know, gold, that means like the game's finished, it's ready to print on a disc and ship out and everything like that. There's less to be concerned about, and I think that, in the fact it's a remaster, I think the bulk of the game is done. So now they're going to go through and polish the game. I think from beginning to end is what they're probably going to do, is a ground-up polish. And I don't know if the consideration was even put into the remaster, and I think that in every way, Virtuous and WB were surprised or taken aback by the criticisms. In many ways, I think that they maybe intended that people just have the attitude of, well, we're going to be getting the game, and the trailer looks pretty good. Well, that's not how it worked. It didn't work out that way. And the fact of it is, videos highlighting the graphics comparisons or the graphics improvements or lack thereof, dare I say, were highlighted pretty quickly. So, that's my speculation as to it's not going to be as long as we think. Again, we hear the word indefinitely, whether it be on a movie or a game. That's like a bad word. That's like, oh shit. It's not like that here. I don't think so anyway, because again, they were so close to releasing it. It was like a last minute decision to be like, we're going to hold it off. We're going to just make some final touches. That's what I think. So if I'm going to go and speculate on a release date, I'm going to go ahead and say October 2016. Give me a 1 month wiggle room, up or down. October, somewhere in that range is basically where we're looking at. Again, I wouldn't expect December. That's way too late. And I think that they're going to want to get the game out before November, because in November, that's when all the big games are, coming out. The new game, shall we say. I don't know if I could name you 2 new games that are coming out off the top of my head, but I know when all the games come out, like probably Gears of War, I think, comes out, and all the AAA games, Call of Duty, Battlefield, okay, there's 3 right there. So those games will all be coming out in November. You definitely want to get this remaster out before then, because a remastered game on a game that came out 5 years ago is going to get absolutely decimated for, in the name of something else. So theories that Arkham Origins was going to be included. That's what all the people are saying. Like, they delayed it to include Arkham Origins. If indefinitely meant 2017, I'd be like, yes, 100%, you're right. That's where they're going with it. But in that indefinitely, once again, it means just a little bit later in 2016, I'm going to say definitely no. And the game is still available for $40. I guess like so few people are ordering it that they had those order incentives or whatever, and they won't need it after they do these improvements. And that people have to understand as well. I hope the WB understands that we don't, at least I don't, innately hate the remaster. I just certainly feel as though a remaster should look better than the last gen version of the game. I think that's a given, right? And that's what they're gonna do. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna make this a next gen game because, judging by the trailer, it maybe wasn't that. We don't know. Of course, you can't know without seeing the gameplay, but nonetheless, they did the right decision, even from a PR perspective. Just kind of saying like, okay, it needs extra time, and even though they didn't admit that it needs extra time to improve the graphics, we all know why it got delayed. Again, a week before going gold, and they're like, I mean, come on now. It's not like the game wasn't finished. Of course, it's finished. It's playable. You just, they're just gonna put some final touches and kind of deal with some of the criticisms that people had of that. So yeah, that's my guess. Around October, somewhere in that range. Again, before November, definitely. But I wouldn't expect it next month. Let's say indefinitely. I think means that they're just not sure how long it's going to take. But again, they're definitely going to want to get this game out before November. So that's my 2 cents. Let me know yours in the comment section below. And are you excited for Batman Return to Arkham? As I've said many times, I'm very excited for the game. I can't wait to play it because I don't have a PS3 or Xbox 360. So if not more so for the amazing graphics of it or the spectacle than just to play the game, because I love both so genuinely. But at the same point, I've played both plenty of times, so I can definitely wait a few months, and I think these next few months are going to be time I won't say wasted, time well spent. And I think that when we get the game, we're going to look back retrospectively and be like, yeah, I'm glad they delayed this. I'm glad they touched up this game because it made it all the better. So anyway, guys, hope you all did enjoy the video. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for all Batman Return to Arkham content, and we'll see you guys in the next one.